of somebody acting suspiciously.
Yep.
Now, you've given a legitimate reason why you're here.
Yeah.
Right, but we need to see some ID and some proof that you are here legitimately.
No, I understand that.
Can we see that, please?
I understand that, but on another term, I have actually got human rights.
Is that your vehicle there?
Nope.
Okay. So, what form of identification have you got on you to say you're actually canvassing?
I've got ID on me, but I don't have to legally show it here because I've not committed a crime.
Right.
Obviously, if you,
We've
had a phone call about, like I said, a suspicious male, so we need to ascertain whether you are, you say you are, but I take it you're not going to give us your name.
I get this every week.
Verify. Yeah, but you've got to appreciate we get calls from members.
No, I understand that, but I'm doing a job, I'm paying me taxes, I'm earning money. Yeah. I mean, I don't understand, I have not committed a crime.
If you were calling us, surely you'd want us to follow it up, wouldn't you? That's why we've been sent here, to follow it up, we want...
Suspicion based only on a vague phone call, without clear evidence of a crime, cannot justify detention or an ID check. The officer's claim that identity needed to be confirmed is troubling, especially since the auditor never misrepresented themselves. The auditor was simply exercising their legal right to withhold ID, as UK law requires disclosure only when lawfully detained under valid grounds, such as suspicion of criminal activity. In this case, the officers failed to establish such grounds, relying instead on vague third-party reports. This approach risks profiling and potential abuse of power, particularly when no crime has been committed.
Name gives you ID, we could ring SafeStar, say, and confirm.
Well, you can ring SafeStar and you can ask them if you've got canvases in this area and they'll validate who I am.
And what's your name?
Obviously, I'm not giving it out.
Well, when I ring up SafeStar UK and say you've got canvases and they say yeah.
They know I'm in this office, they know I'm around here. Because we get issued to a certain area and they keep both names of the people.
So where's your ID card?
It is on me, but I don't have to show it. I've not committed a crime.
We're going round in circles here, aren't we, chap?
No, I don't mean human rights, mate. I've not committed a crime. Obviously, you're putting me under alarm and distress now. You both cover it going round me. Obviously, you're trying to say that I have to show my ID.
You're putting me under alarm and distress.
How am I?
It's our ID. We've shown you our ID. So
yeah, but at the end of the day, you're a public servant.
Instead of recognizing the auditor's lawful right to refuse ID without reasonable suspicion, the officers persist in pressuring him and, astonishingly, accuse him of causing harassment, alarm, and distress. The irony is glaring and deeply troubling. How can trained officers, empowered by authority and uniform, claim distress simply because someone calmly asserts their rights? Matters become even more concerning when, questioned about their own conduct, one officer attempts to justify the imbalance by saying, "We've shown you our ID." But that misses the point entirely. The real issue lies in their relentless demand for personal details, without any legal basis. By reframing themselves as victims, they distort the narrative, when in reality, they are the ones escalating the situation. This circular reasoning and refusal to respect a lawful refusal is not just poor policing. It crosses the line into abusive behavior.
Public servant, but I'm not your servant.
No, I didn't say you were my servant, did I?
Okay.
I said, but if you're walking around with a police uniform which gives you powers...
Stop going on about YouTube. It's like this public servant, okay? I'm not a servant. I'm a police officer.
Yeah.
Okay?
Which means, but you serve the public.
I'm a police officer.
Right.
Okay. Police officer. I'm not a servant.
Yeah.
So let's get that quite clear before we start.
Well, there's no need to get angry, is there? Because now you're putting me under alarm and distress. Now I feel threatened.
The officers remark, "I might be a public servant, but I'm not your servant. I'm not a servant. I'm a police officer." Reveals a troubling sense of entitlement and ego. It dismisses a core principle of policing. Officers exist to serve the public, not themselves. By drawing this distinction, the officer exposes an inflated view of authority and a fundamental misunderstanding of duty. Even more concerning, this statement is not isolated. It reflects a broader pattern of pressure, intimidation, and refusal to respect the auditor's lawful rights. The tone is dismissive, confrontational, and steeped in superiority. In that moment, the officer is not simply avoiding accountability. He is rejecting the very values of democratic policing. For the auditor, who has done nothing wrong, the impact is deeply personal. It intensifies the harassment, alarm, and distress already inflicted, underscoring how misuse of authority can erode trust and cause real emotional harm.
What, you feel threatened?
Yeah, hence why I'm recording it, just in case anybody's trying anything cheeky.
That's fine.
I've had it before where police has thrown me on the floor for asking him, "Have you got ID?"
So police officers thrown you on the floor?
Yeah.
And that's what I do.
I've asked for
very strange.
Well, not all coppers are legitimate, are they? Not all coppers are nice. So at this moment in time, am I detained?
That's right.
What for? What am I being detained for? Have I committed a criminal offence? I've not committed a criminal offence. How can you detain me? Because then you're holding me hostage. You're now restricting my free way of movement, because now you're saying I'm being detained for a crime I've not committed. I will just literally, I'll send this to me my lawyer, mate. This is going straight to my lawyer.
First things first, you're recording it.
Yeah.
Has it just picked up the word that you just said to me?
Yeah.
Right. This is your first and last warning. You swear at me again, you'll be arrested. Do you understand me?
Yeah, but I'm asking why am I being detained?
Listen to me. Are you going to listen?
I'll listen, but I want you to listen to my point of view.
Detained at this moment in time.
Yeah.
So we can speak to the caller.
Yeah.
Because as I said, you fit the description of a person seen acting suspiciously.
Yeah.
Right? Now, until we speak to the caller and fathom out what the caller says to us, you're not going anywhere.
Right, so you're detaining me against my own will from a crime that I've not committed.
This is a blatant misuse of police authority. Detaining someone without firm legal grounds simply because they resemble a vague description or were mentioned in a phone call is not just poor policing. It is a direct violation of civil liberties. The officer even admits the detention rests solely on the caller's word, insisting the auditor will remain held until they figure it out. That is not how the law works. Detention cannot be justified on a hunch or vague suspicion. It requires objective, reasonable grounds. Under UK law, particularly the Police and Criminal Evidence Act PACE, officers must establish legitimate grounds before detaining a person, not merely act because someone thinks an individual looks suspicious. By presuming guilt before innocence, this officer undermines the very foundation of justice and erodes public trust in lawful policing.
But you can't detain someone if they've not committed a crime, because then that's holding them against their own will.
Well, once we speak to the caller,
yeah, but now
the crime has been committed, then I will tell you what's going to happen next.
So you're actually admitting you've illegally detained me for a crime I've not committed?
We haven't illegally detained you.
Well, if you've not detained me, then I'm free to go.
Tell you what, walk up there and we'll follow you then if you need to speak to you again.
But then it's harassing.
Off you go.
But then it's harassing.
No, what I'm saying is, if you'd like to leave,
right.
if you'd like to leave now and walk whichever way you like, carry on. And if I need to speak to you at a different time, I'll come after you and have a word with you.
The officer's response is deeply troubling, showing a blatant disregard for lawful procedure and individual rights. Instead of addressing the auditor's legitimate concern about being unlawfully detained, the officer casually suggests, "How about you walk away and we'll follow you?" As if surveillance could somehow resolve the issue. In reality, this only escalates matters. Monitoring someone without legal grounds amounts to harassment, especially after the auditor has clearly asserted his right to be left alone. What the officer proposes is essentially an informal, unwarranted stop, shadowing the auditor in hopes of manufacturing suspicion later, rather than acting on solid legal grounds in the moment. This is a textbook case of policing through intimidation. When an officer lacks lawful authority to detain, following under a vague pretext is not just unreasonable, it is an outright abuse of power that undermines trust and erodes civil liberties.
I'll just put a complaint in. I'll just put a complaint into IPCC.
That's fine. That's fine.
Because obviously you're illegally detaining me for a crime I've not committed. So obviously, like I'm going to ask again, am I being detained for a crime? Because obviously now no one's answering. If I'm not being detained for a crime...
I'm just in process of speaking to your manager.
Right.
If you'd like to walk away, you are free to walk away. And if I detain us a crime, I will come after you, won't I? It's up to you, sir.
I'm not going to turn me back. I'm not going to turn me back on officers so you can body slam me.
Do what you'd like. I don't think I'm capable of body slamming.
Hey, there's police out there that body slam people for the fun of it.
When he's asking for an officer's ID.
So you've illegally detained me, you call me a liar. Yeah, but now you've also illegally detained me. So wait until IPC.
Wait, we're going around in circles. Twice I've said, if you'd like to walk away, walk away.
Well, just for the camera, have I been committed as a crime? Right, so I've not committed a crime, so... Well, you've given me permission to walk away. I'm not, mate. I'm not, mate. Now you're making lies about me. You've also illegally detained me, like I said before, when he says you're now detained. For what crime? He couldn't give me a crime. So he's legally detained me on the spot. He's also kept me hostage. So I do know my rights, and this will be going to IPCC. I will be sent it to my law. I'll wait until it's all over the line. I don't need the log number. I've got your badge numbers. Because I don't trust it. I don't trust the fact I can walk away with you.
Had you shown us your ID in the first instance, I don't think it would have taken this long. So when you're talking about being...
Yeah, but I don't have to show my ID if I've not committed a crime or I'm on suspicion of crime. I've not committed...
The officers remark that the situation would not have escalated if the auditor had simply identified himself, reveals a deeply flawed mindset. It shifts responsibility for the officer's own misconduct onto an individual who was merely asserting his rights. The auditor had committed no crime, openly stated he was working, and explained his legal position. Yet instead of respecting those facts, the officer framed the refusal to comply as the real problem. This exposes an ego issue. The officer could not tolerate being told no. Rather than reassessing the situation within the bounds of the law, he doubled down and implied the auditor was to blame for the escalation. Such reasoning is dangerous, as it suggests that noncompliance with an officer's demands alone can justify detention or further escalation. A troubling and unacceptable mindset for any law enforcement officer.
Get the log.
Sorry, Doug.
Before you get that urge.
Yeah. Okay. So, that's what I said. Free to go, Sam?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for you to leave.
The £35,000 compensation payout speaks volumes about the seriousness of misconduct by the officers involved. This was not a minor issue. It was a major violation of Curno's rights. The fact that one officer was dismissed, another suspended, and a third placed under internal review makes it clear this was not a simple misunderstanding, but a systemic failure. From the outset, the officers displayed arrogance and ignorance, demanding ID based on nothing more than a vague phone call with no legal grounds. When Colonel refused to comply, they escalated the situation without justification. The male officers' remark about not being a servant and the female officers' claim that things would have been smoother if Colonel had complied revealed a disturbing lack of respect for civil liberties. This was never about law. It was about control. Their actions triggered serious legal and professional consequences, underscoring why it is vital for the public to assert their rights and for officers to be held accountable. Colonel's refusal to be intimidated ensured that those who abused their power faced real consequences. If you found this video valuable, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.